We are back with the founder and CEO of Fiercely Financial Coaching, Audrey Washington. I love to say the name of your company. It really makes me feel like I can control my money, which is I think that's probably the attitude that you were going for, right?
Yes. It's empowering, right?
It really
is. You can be fierce in your finances.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Now let's talk a little bit about the credit bureaus.
Yes.
Which ones are the ones that we need to know about?
Okay.
And which ones are the ones that judge us on the 5 C's?
Okay, sure. So they're primarily 3 credit bureaus. So 3 major credit bureaus, and that is Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. So those are really the 3 companies that receive information about your credit and give out information about your credit to people that you authorize to get that information. And so the credit bureaus, however, they don't really make credit assessments. So they're really not into the 5 C's. The 5 C's really is for the creditor that's giving you the credit, right? So whoever's giving you the loan or giving you the credit card, they're going to focus on the 5 C's. But the credit bureaus just get the information. So creditors who you have debt with send that information, and basically the information is pretty much the same all around. It's who the name of the creditor, some portion of the account number, the amount of the debt. So if for instance it's a car loan, and that's for $15,000, and that's there, what the monthly payment amount is. Those are the things that the creditors would be reporting. Okay, and it's up to the creditor how many of the credit bureaus they report to. So major debt like loans, house loan, car loans, student loans, credit cards, typically, they're going to report to all 3. But other debts, let's say unpaid bills and things like that, they may or may not. They're going to report to 1, 2, maybe 3. Yes. And so when you talk about calculating your credit score, how is that made up? Then the biggest weight, and this is the one thing, even if you don't know how the breakdown is, understand that the biggest weight on how your score is calculated is based on you paying your bills on time. That's the biggest weight. So 35% is based on your payment history. Another 30% is how much you owe. 15% is how long you've had credit. So for some people, if they don't have a lot of credit, or maybe they got their first credit card within the last 6 months to a year, oftentimes they can't even get a score. So it'll take at least 2 years for that to happen. And then new credit. So they want to see, and new credit is primarily a lot of inquiries. So when you go to a store, the first thing they ask you before they even say hi, they say, do you want to open up a credit card? Right? And get 10% off just today. And so if you do that, let's say you're shopping on a given day and you go to multiple stores, then all of those people have pulled your credit. And they don't often tell you that, but understand that the only way that anyone can assess you for a credit card is to access your credit.
Which is not necessarily a good thing.
Right, because that's too many inquiries, let's say, in a short period of time. But you want to balance that, because then you don't want to be scared. If you legitimately need someone to pull your credit, you want to feel comfortable in having them do that. But again, shopping in a day and having 3 to 4 stores pull your credit, that's not a good thing.
I just thought of a question, Audrey. If you have credit card debt as opposed to a mortgage, is the credit card debt perceived as bad debt, whereas the mortgage is perceived as more of a positive debt?
Right.
Do you understand my question?
Sure.
Okay.
And I think you do hear, that's good debt, that's bad debt. And so I would say that typically people think of a mortgage as good debt because you also are building equity. Right? So the house, you have a loan, but the house typically is going to have more value than the loan. And so that difference becomes equity for you, and that's positive. That ties into your overall net worth of, assets and things like that. Student loans also typically, particularly government student loans, falls into a category of good debt, because the concept is you're going to school, yes, you're taking out a loan, but you're going to, by virtue of extending your education, you're going to increase your earning power. And so yes, definitely those things. Now, credit cards in and of themselves are not really bad debt, right? They're not, I wouldn't say they're bad debt. What happens though is that easy access to being able to pull that card out and use it to buy something is typically where people get in trouble with debt. Okay.
That makes sense.
Yes.
That makes a lot of sense. Coming up, Audrey tells us all about her book, Transform Your Money Mindset, when Embrace Life continues after the break. We'll be right back.